Hello, children. I hope and expect that you must be enjoying your good and pink health. Today, in this video, I will be teaching a new lesson, the banyan tree, from Honeysuckle, class 6th, chapter number 10, the banyan tree. You must have seen a banyan tree. Banyan tree, yes, it's a banyan tree. In Hindi, it means Bargat ka ped. This is a story about what the author saw as a young boy when he was sitting in an old banyan tree in his grandfather's house. Have you seen a mongoose? You have read in lesson 9 that a mongoose can fight with and kill a snake. So, this is the story, The Banyan Tree by Ruskin Bond. The fight of the cobra and the mongoose is a classic drama often seen in India, and the outcome is largely the same. The mongoose is not immune to the venomous bite, but it is faster and quicker in motion than the snake. The cobra assumes a posture of defense and attempts to reach the animal by a sweeping strike, but the quick moving mongoose jumps out of reach and comes at the snake from another direction before the snake can get into striking position again. This constant movement tires and discourages the snake. So, though the house and grounds belonged to my grandparents, the magnificent old banyan tree was mine, chiefly because grandfather at 65 could no longer climb it. Its spreading branches, which hung to the ground and took root again, forming a number of twisting passages, gave me endless pleasure. Among them were squirrels. The boy lived with his grandfather in Dehradun. There was a grand old banyan tree in the garden of that house. He enjoyed sitting in that tree. From there, he used to spy on the world below. Since the grandfather could not climb the tree, it belonged only to the boy. The tree was home to squirrels, butterflies, and snails. Let us know about the introduction to the banyan tree. The author narrates an incident of fight between a mongoose and a cobra that he witnessed as a young boy while sitting under a banyan tree at his grandparents' house. Now, before I start the detailed explanation of the chapter, let us discuss and let us know about the author of this chapter. Ruskin Bond, born 19 May 1934, is an Indian author of British descent. He lives with his adopted family in Lanzar, Missouri, India. The Indian Council for Child Education has recognized his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. His novel in English, he was awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. Now, before explanation of the chapter and the meaning of the chapter, let us hear a poem, The Banyan Tree by Rabindranath Tagore, a very famous poem written by a very renowned poet. The Banyan Tree. Oh, you shaggy headed banyan tree, standing on the bank of the pond, have you forgotten the little child, like the birds that have nested in your branches and left you. Do you not remember how he sat at the window and wondered at the tangle of your roots and plunged underground? The women would come to fill their jars in the pond, and your huge black shadow would wriggle on the water like sleep struggling to wake up. Sunlight danced on the ripples like restless tiny shuttles, weaving golden tapestry. Two ducks swam by the weedy margin above their shadows, and the child would sit still and think. He longed to be the wind and blow through your resting branches, to, to be your shadow and lengthen with the day on the water, to be a bird and perch on your topmost twig, and to float like those ducks among the weeds and shadow. Now I am coming to the difficult words with their meanings. You must know and discuss the meaning of the hard words. Venomous, poisonous, motion, movement, vertebrae, one of the joint in the spine, arching, curving, sniffing, breathing, morsels, small pieces, headstrong, obstinate, squabbling, quarreling, propping up, leaning against, approaching, drawing near. Went straight for, proceeded to attack, aggressive, attacking, defiance, challenge to fight, darting, moving, spectacled, having marks like powered glasses, combatants, fighters, mesmerize, bewitch, shrieking, crying, glistened, shone, whipped suddenly, thudding, hitting, fluttered, moved its wings. So you see that the tree was older than the house, older than grandfather, as old as Dehradun itself. I could hide myself in its branches behind thick green leaves and spy on the world below. My friend was a small grey squirrel, arching his back and sniffing into the air. He seemed at first to resent my invasion of his privacy, but when he found that I did not arm myself with catapult or gun, he became friendly. There was a squirrel. It became his friend only when it became certain that the boy had no catapult or gun, so he became friendly. And when it come to know that the author did not have any catapult or air gun, it grew quite bold and started taking small food pieces from his hand. It also started bringing him pieces of cake and biscuit. He grew quite bold and was soon taking morsels from hand. Before long, he was delving into my pockets and helping himself to whatever he could find. He was a very young squirrel, and his friends and relatives. Means when the boy started to bring him pieces of cake and biscuit, the squirrel was soon taking morsels from his hand, and it started going deep into his pockets in search of food. You see, in the springtime, when the banyan tree was full of small red figs, birds of all kinds would flock into its branches. The red bottomed bulbul, cheerful and greedy parrots, myna, and crows scrabbling with one another during the fig season. The banyan tree was the noisiest place in the garden. Means in the spring season, all kinds of birds flocked into its branches, and the tree became the noisiest place in the garden. When figs appeared, the banyan tree was the noisiest place, and the birds of all kinds would flock into its branches. Halfway up the tree, I had built a crude platform where I would spend the afternoons when it was not too hot. I could read there, propping myself up against the tree with a cushion from the living room, Treasure Island, Huckleberry Finn, and the story of Dr. Dolittle were some of the books that made up my banyan tree library. During the summer season, the author used to sit the branches of the tree. He had made a crude platform there, and the author used to read books and look down through the leaves at the world below. Eh, Sitting there, he had read many books like Treasure Island, Huckleberry Finn, and the story of Dolittle. Thus, the banyan tree served the boy as a reading room. It was a summer afternoon. All of them were shut in their houses, including the gardener, into the house. The boy was also, means the author was also feeling very drowsy himself. When I did not feel like reading, I could look down through the leaves at the world below, and on one particular afternoon, I had a grandstand view of that classic of the Indian wilds, a fight between a mongoose and a cobra. Grandstand view means a clear view from the best position in a grandstand is a large covered space with rows of seats for people to watch sports. Means when the author did not feel like reading, he looked at the world below. On one such afternoon, he saw the famous fight between a mongoose and a cobra. One day, he saw a huge black cobra coming out of a group of cactus. At the same time, a mongoose also came from the bushes. They came face to face. Both of them were aware of each other's strength and weaknesses also. Both of them were aware of each other's strength and weaknesses. It was a battle of champions because both of them were equally skilled and experienced fighter. And really, it was going to be a battle of champions. 3 feet long was a super fighter, clever and aggressive. In the warm breezes of approaching summer, had sent everyone, including the gardener. In a clearing beneath the banyan tree, in bright sunshine, they came face to face. The cobra knew only too well that the grey mongoose, 3 feet long, was a super fighter, clever and aggressive. But the cobra too was a skillful and experienced fighter. He could move swiftly and strike with the speed of light, and the sacs behind his long, sharp fangs were full of deadly poison. It was to be a battle of champions. Hissing defiance, his forked tongue, the cobra raised 3 of his 6 feet off the ground and spread his broad spectacled hood. The mongoose bushed his tail, the long hair on his spine stood up. The cobra was about 6 feet long and the mongoose about 3 feet. The cobra spread his broad hood and the mongoose bushed his tail. Besides the boy narrator, there was a manna and a crow looking at the battle. You see, children, that the mongoose was clever, aggressive, and a super fighter, while the cobra can strike swiftly, and his sacs were full of deadly poison. The fight between the cobra and the mongoose began, and there were 3 spectators of the battle. They were, the three of them were the author, the jungle crow, and the manna. The three viewers were the author, a manna, and a jungle crow. They settled down on the cactus to watch the outcome of the battle. And the mongoose was quite aware of the power of his opponents. Opponents means opposite, rival, glossy, shiny, unwinking, without any movement, eyes, and he refused to meet them, to meet the unwinking eyes of the cobra. See, they had seen the preparation for battle and had settled the cactus on the cactus to watch the outcome. Had they been content only to watch, all would have been well with both of them. The cobra stood on the defensive, swaying slowly from side to side, trying to mesmerize the mongoose into making a false move. But the mongoose knew the power of his opponent's glassy, unwinking eyes. Moving forward quite quickly until he was just within the cobra's reach, the mongoose made a pretended move to one side. Immediately, the cobra struck. His great hood came down so swiftly that I thought nothing could save the mongoose. But the little fellow jumped neatly to one side and darted in as swiftly as the cobra. And biting the snake on the back and darting away again out of the reach. Then what happened? The mongoose started the attack. It made a pretended move to one side. The cobra struck, but the mongoose jumped to one side. The mongoose bit the snake on its back. The two birds tried to feed on the cobra, thinking that it is dead. The crow and manna made 3 attempts to feed on the cobra. They collided 2 times with each other. Meanwhile, the mongoose kept attacking the snake, and in the third round, the cobra struck the crow with great force and killed it. The manna remained on the cactus and decided not to interfere when the snake and the mongoose resumed their fight. The cobra whipped his head back and struck with great force, his snout thudding against the crow's body. I saw the bird flung nearly 20 feet across the garden. It fluttered about for a while, then lay still. The manna remained on the cactus plant, and when the snake and the mongoose returned to the fight, very wisely decided not to interfere again. So you see, while doing so, he also bit the snake on the back. A few drops of blood glistened on the cobra's back. There were many such rounds, and every time the mongoose was the victor. During one such round, the crow came in between and became a victim of the snake bite. Now you see, children, that the mongoose killed the cobra. How? Means the cobra grew tired and weak. The mongoose went near to attack the cobra. The cobra coiled itself around the mongoose in a very frightening manner. The cobra was weakening, and the mongoose, walking fearlessly up to it, raised himself on his short legs and with a lightning snap had the big snake by the snout. The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner and even coiled. And The little fellow hung grimly on until the snake had ceased to struggle. He then smelled along its quivering length, gripped it round the hood, and dragged it into the bushes. The cobra coiled itself round the mongoose in a very frightening manner. The mongoose killed the cobra when it ceased to struggle and dragged it into the bushes. The manna came to the ground and looked into the bushes. And what happened? It later flew away, giving a shout of cry of congratulation, flew away. Means when it stopped to struggle, the mongoose gripped it round the hook and dragged it into the bushes. Now I will come to the summary of part 1. The author was living in his grandparents' house in Dehradun. There was a huge banyan tree in the yard. The tree was home to squirrels, snails, and butterflies. The author also made a platform on it for hiding and reading. His first friend was a small squirrel. He offered it pieces of cake and biscuits. It grew bold and began to take out food items even from his pocket. During the fig season, the tree was a very noisy place made by parrots, myna, nightingales, and crows. From this banyan tree platform, the author used to look down at the world below. Now I switch over to part 2. One day he saw a big cobra coming out in search of prey. Just then a mongoose also came out from the bushes. The two came face to face under the tree. They are now sworn enemies. Both were great fighters, swift and clever. The cobra raised its body 3 feet off the ground. The mongoose kept its eyes fixed below the cobra's hood. The fight between the champions began. There were 3 onlookers of the fight: the author, a myna, and a wild crow. The mongoose moved swifter than the snake. It bit the snake on the back. The two birds flew down to feed on the dead cobra, but they hit against each other. They made second attempt, but in vain. In the third attempt, the crow was bitten by the snake and it fell dead. Myna kept sitting on the cactus plant. The fight went on for quite some time. The cobra coiled itself around its enemy, but it could struggle no more. The mongoose dragged it into the bushes. The myna flew down and looked into the bushes, but it had no success. It flew away. Now I come to the questions prepared for you. Question number 1. Why did the speaker claim that the old banyan tree was his? Second question. What made the banyan tree the noisiest place during the fig season? Who were the other two spectators? What did they do? Thank you. I hope and suppose that you must have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.